A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Good evening, everyone. We are live tonight as millions of Americans have cast their votes in the highly anticipated 2024 U.S. presidential election. The race has been neck and neck between Democratic nominee Kamala Harris and Republican nominee Donald Trump, but as the night unfolds, Trump has declared victory after winning several key battleground states. These states include North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, and others, pushing Trump to the critical 270 electoral college votes needed to secure the presidency. Meanwhile, Harris has managed to secure victories in states like Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, and Colorado. But the overall picture remains grim for Democrats as Trump continues to dominate in swing states. As we look at the numbers, we find that half the vote is still out, and independent candidate Dan Osborne is currently leading in the Nebraska Senate race against Republican incumbent Deb Fischer, who is underperforming in rural counties compared to Trump's previous elections. The implications of this election are vast, particularly if Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown loses his race, which would be a significant blow to the Democratic Party and progressive politics at large. The so-called blue wall of Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin is proving to be tight, and current trends suggest Trump may be favored to win in these critical areas. As the clock strikes 8 p.m. Pacific time, the atmosphere is electric, with adrenaline levels high as we witness a night that feels more like the early hours of the morning. For those on the East Coast, it must be an exhausting experience. The stakes have never been higher, and the tension is palpable. Thanks to the unwavering support from our readers, Daily Kos continues to provide timely updates and essential information as the election unfolds. If you're able to contribute, even a small donation can help us keep our coverage going. As we delve deeper into the election results, we are reminded of the historical context of this moment. The longest it took to decide an election in modern history was in 2000, when George W. Bush was elected over Al Gore after a contentious battle in Florida that lasted 35 days. Tonight, we find ourselves in a similar situation where results from several states may take days to finalize. Swing states are critical in this election, and both parties have identified several key battlegrounds: Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. With Pennsylvania holding the most electoral votes among these states, the candidates are separated by just a few hundred votes, indicating a potential recount ahead. As we continue to monitor the situation, we see that Trump's lead in Georgia is shrinking as Democratic votes are still outstanding in urban areas. The results from suburban counties are yet to be fully reported, and we remain hopeful for a turnaround as more votes come in. In Texas, Democratic candidate Colin Allred is in a tight race with Republican incumbent Ted Cruz, but early signs indicate that Allred is trailing behind. The situation is similar in Ohio, where Sherrod Brown is fighting to keep his seat against Republican Bernie Moreno. The outcome of these races could determine the future of the Democratic Party and its ability to maintain influence in Congress. In North Carolina, Republican Mark Robinson lost his gubernatorial bid, which is a relief for many who were concerned about his controversial views. As we wrap up this update, we acknowledge that we still have a long way to go before we understand the full scope of tonight's election results. The uncertainty surrounding suburban and urban turnout remains, and the stakes are higher than ever. We encourage you to stay tuned for our next update as we navigate through this tumultuous election night. Thank you for your continued support and for joining us as we bring you the latest news and insights from the front lines of this historic election. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.